Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Real Talking Podcast with your hosts Ash and JD. So, we've had a bit of an eventful week. Well, I've had an eventful week. What we did forget is that I touched on Conspiracy Corner last week, but then didn't do it because we was too busy talking about Bluey and kids programs. But that will start me off with an email from Jess. It all links in. Just bear with me a sec. I can see you nodding. Like, come on, what's going on, Jay? Get on with you. So, Jess was asking, did we see the solar eclipse? And it was too cloudy where she is, so she just saw a bit of a crappy glow. So it was Monday, I think it was.
It was
I
early
know it
on the
was
week.
the 8th anyway. I remember it was the 8th. So the answer is no, didn't see the eclipse. I knew it was happening, but too busy grafting, any don't have time to stand outside and look up at the sun. But so what I'd forgot to say last week was all the conspiracies of what was going to happen during the solar eclipse. Which, yeah, you're shaking your head.
Just
You know that they're there, mate.
they can make a conspiracy out of anything, can't they? So
Well, what I didn't get leading up to it was how people can just pull these out of the hat, like saying that it's not a real eclipse. It's um, a lot of it was flat earthers coming out with this bollocks. Uh, which they never give an explanation because going off the flat earthers, where it's just two light bulbs essentially above the dome, the sun and the moon, like why would they overlap
So
the light bulbs from time to time for an eclipse?
do flat earthers think they're like in a Truman Show?
Essentially, yeah. So the way
Right.
the Truman
Yeah.
Show, it was a big dome
Yeah,
that
yeah,
he
yeah.
was in. That yeah, it's the same. That we're under a big dome,
Right.
and that so it's the firmament is what it's called, which it's referenced in the Bible. Which we'll save that for another day. Which again, another one that I know we're going to do this a lot. To be fair, going off on tangents. But so the letter J wasn't invented like in the English language until like I don't know, it was something like 1600s.
Right.
Yet the Bible's over 2,000 years old. So his name wouldn't have been Jesus; it would have been Jesus.
Jesus.
So yeah, so Jesus wasn't Jesus, it's Jesus. Um, but yeah, so uh, we're under a firmament, and above that is water. But then obviously we've got water on the planet as well. There's that many different
Mm.
flat Earth theories. Because again, have you seen any of them ones that, like, when you go through the ice wall of the
Yeah.
Antarctic Circle?
I've seen one where it's like the ice wall is the barricade keeping us all in, or something like that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's that, and then like if you go out of that, there's other like parts of land, other ice walls. So there's like Valhalla and all the like the mythical worlds that
Yeah.
you see on films and all sorts of
Who?
crap. Anyway,
I want to know. Like, it'd be interesting to know who brought this hypothesis forward to say
they've got
it's
their
flat.
evidence. They've someone at some point. So there's a couple of books basically, and so as they've read through the books, it shows the maps because apparently someone actually got through the ice wall. I don't know, during Viking times or whatever. So they've got through it, and then they've landscapes. They've made maps of everything else that's out there. Uh, look, again, because that's why. Uh,
And then he managed to come back and show everyone.
yeah. So
So
it's
he,
his map.
so the
We're assuming it was a man. Most
yeah,
likely was.
so yeah, so we're assuming that this one man
I think there were
done
several, but
done
yeah.
done something that no other men have done before,
Mhm.
and then come back,
Yeah.
and then no one's done it since.
No, because there's all the major countries have got the Antarctic Treaty, haven't they? So you're not allowed to explore
Yeah,
Antarctica,
you know,
um, which I think there is something going on there. Aliens maybe, but I
definitely.
think it's majority down to health and safety, essentially. That if just any more billionaires wanted to just go and explore in such extreme terrains where you don't want to take the Titanic because it's never going to last. We all know how that went. Do you think Jack could have got onto the door?
I think so.
Yeah, well,
She did hug a lot of the room on there, and it.
I love all those pictures
Yeah.
where it's like a load of dogs and that next to her on the fucking door, or there's like luggage and stuff.
It just move over and
Yeah, but yeah, so I think that's the main reason, other than what they're trying to hide, the aliens, is that they just can't have anyone trying to just explore because
yeah.
they'll die. The last thing they want is a submarine going down there as well. Another one to fucking bite the dust. Um, so yeah, we'll come on to flat Earth and extra realms and whatever and that for another one. I'll get some videos for you to watch
Hmm.
for the
I
entertainment
look
value.
forward to that, mate.
Yeah. So the solar eclipse conspiracies. Uh, so the Hadron Collider. So in Sweden, I think it is where the particle
Oh yeah,
accelerator.
yeah, yeah. Okay, right, you're
Um,
right, you're right.
so they were going to reboot that on the 8th, and again, this one video went into the bloody conspiracy. So apparently, where that is, it's over the gateway to hell. I'll keep it brief. So it's over the gateway to hell, and so as the atoms or neutrons are going to collide, or were going to collide, since we're recording this after the 8th, after the eclipse. So as they collide, that was going to open the gate to hell, and all the demons, like a scene from Supernatural, were going to come flying out of the ground, and the world was going to end. The four horsemen of the apocalypse or something was going to happen. Uh, Another one that it was going to not be the moon eclipsing the sun. It was going to be the mothership that's been floating out in orbit for a little while now, ready to start, an invasion.
I feel like there's been these things in the past. Do you remember the year 2001
Yeah,
and
Y2K.
and the 2012? Remember the
I
world was
think,
going to end
yeah,
at
I
some
think it was
point on
2012. Yeah.
2012,
Mm.
and then when it done happen, there's nothing. Then it's like this
Well,
mothership.
yeah, because after Y2K, they were like, no, we've got to go off the Mayans calendar.
Mm,
So it was like 4 years later or something as well, then, weren't it? Just
yeah,
because the Mayans didn't count leap years.
right.
There was probably more to it than that, but yeah, it's fucking.
It's just yeah,
And then there's like that Babadook or whatever who's got their predictions. There's like a whole book of it, and you know, people just seem to find correlations to it. Like, oh, there's going to be a natural disaster in 2024. There's a natural disaster every
yeah,
year,
yeah.
So well, just because there's something that they can half
Yeah, but
pinpoint
they
to
can
that
just
prediction that
connect
was done
somehow.
200
Yeah.
years ago, like they do. But yeah, uh, so yeah, there was a lot of bullshit coming out, conspiracy wise, because of this eclipse. Um, and then yeah, the eclipse happened. Uh, as I say, we saw nothing. I think it was Jess. Sorry, let me just double check. Yeah, Jess saw a little bit of a glow just because it was cloudy,
Yeah,
so I didn't see much.
because it was more um, America that saw it, and Canada and everything, that part of the world, because of where, obviously, the time of day.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think for the UK it was going to be Ireland and Wales,
yeah,
which was like the best
yeah.
visible areas for it. Otherwise, we just well, as I say, I didn't notice anything. But yeah, it would have just been just a slight bit of a like
Mm.
as if the clouds covering the sun slightly. Anyway, that's all we would have potentially seen. Um, but since the eclipse happened, anyway, I've seen numerous videos where people are obviously on the best phones or cameras ever because you're getting all the clearest pictures. Not. Um, so they're focusing at the sun, and again, it's you can't even see that it's the eclipse
Mm.
behind these clouds, but through the clouds you can see shadows moving. and there's a mix of them saying that it's demons flying around because of the Hadron Collider opening up the gates to hell. Another one saying that it's aliens, it's the spaceships flying around from the mothership and this and that. It's like, no, why would they choose an eclipse to
Yeah,
start an invasion? And why didn't anything happen once the sun and moon separated again? Like it
yeah,
was that
yeah.
30 seconds in the
That's all I
like,
had.
yeah,
Yeah,
and it's like, oh no, we've got to go back again now. So it's such a disappointment that there's so many people that uh, come up with fairy tales and that essentially.
yeah, and I think it's quite sad that people believe it because it's just nonsense. Like if
Yeah,
you was to say to me, mate, this is happening, but it's because of this, I'd be like, nah,
I
but
know. It's
it's not.
yeah, I say it's a shame. But speaking of nonsense,
Mm.
it's a nonsense going from one shambles to another.
As is about the Undertake now, the
No,
Undertake
no.
podcast.
Oh, the Undertake podcast. Sorry, I thought you were saying the Undertaker. Uh, because we've partially watched WrestleMania. Which what again? While it's there, so Miles did email in as well asking if we've watched WrestleMania. Uh, I've only watched about 5 hours. 8 hours is a lot of
Yeah,
time to watch.
right. So no, I always think like because they used to do the pay per views on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
So WrestleMania is over 2 nights.
Mm.
But so I watched the first one the first night, and then obviously with it being Sunday night, I didn't watch it. And then first thing went to work, went on my phone, seeing pretty much everything. So I was like, I'm watching that then.
Yeah. I've managed to avoid watching any of the TikTok videos of what's happened, but it was literally just a spoiler from
Yeah.
listening to another podcast. So I know the results. I am going to try and find time to watch the last 3 hours of Sunday.
What did you think of? Did you watch night one then?
So yeah, I've watched
What did you think
Saturdays.
of the night one?
You
I
know,
always find them quite underwhelming, I must admit.
it was underwhelming, and it's mad how much of it is still the same patterns, the
Yeah,
same
yeah, yeah, yeah.
cycles of when we was kids watching it. Again, I don't know the names, but there was the one of them. There was the whole trailer before the fights, and he was like, "I'm scared." He was fighting against Gunther,
Is that
or
me saying?
right? So that's his name then. He's like, "I'm scared. What do you expect me to do?" And it's like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen in this fight then.
Yeah.
And obviously, he ends up winning. Spoilers for anyone that hasn't watched it and does plan to watch it. I don't know. They might not give a shit. To be fair, just two almost middle-aged men talking about wrestling. What's that all
Wrestling.
about?
Yeah. Have you seen that? Like, what's like an ick is like people that watch wrestling. Have
I
you
don't
seen that
know.
clip of the guy doing that? And then like goes to Rock like, shut up, bitch.
um, yeah, so there was that. The Uso brothers.
Yeah, I didn't. No, I didn't write down for that matchup at
Again,
all.
it was just obvious. I knew as because I've not seen. It was only because I mentioned Rikishi the other week
Mm,
that I knew about the Uso brothers then. And I just as soon as I saw the drama leading up, so again the pre-fight trailer that was going on, I thought, well, at some point, the one that's betrayed him is gonna like get hurt and then start apologising, and then he's going to betray him again. And lo and behold, it happened. I was
mm.
like, literally, if I didn't already know and like watch it after it already happened, but if I didn't know how it was going to go, well, no, sorry, if I hadn't already watched it after it had been on, I would have put bets on to say this is going to happen
Yeah,
because it was so that predictable.
because you know that the WWE is moving to Netflix.
I didn't know that. Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I think I did see something
Yeah.
actually.
So they're like trying to make it so it's like a new era. So you remember how the Attitude Era was?
Yeah.
With Stone Cold, obviously The Rock, Shawn Michaels,
Mm,
DX, and everything. Uh, so they're trying to bring it so it's more because he went PG to an extent. Obviously, they don't do brown panties match anymore.
no.
Obviously, the women are wrestlers now and everything like that.
Yeah.
But they're trying to make it so it's more going towards that back to how he was into that attitude era with the swearing,
But
you
how
know,
would that work though? Because
especially on Netflix. Because, but in terms of what, how would that work?
no, I'm just thinking because obviously now the way it has been for a long time with Raw and SmackDown, and it's easier available for the younger kids to watch. So if it goes to Netflix and they are trying to make it,
Well, over here, it's on one channel, TNT, BT.
yeah,
In America, SmackDown was on one channel, Raw was on a different channel.
okay,
So as far as I'm aware, that WWE got brought out by the company that owns UFC. So they held the whole of the WWE franchise, and then it's going to be on Netflix. I don't know if it's just going to be WWE Raw on Netflix and SmackDown, or just Raw at the moment.
mm.
So that they're trying like
Because there's a lot of UFC on the Zone as well, isn't there? So
y-
whether they'd split it up
yeah.
that
So
way,
but
maybe.
that's how it works here. I mean, in America, they have it's just copyright and who owns that
Yeah,
copyright
it's
overseas.
sponsorships
Yeah,
and
yeah,
money,
yeah.
isn't
So
it?
I don't know how it would work over here per se if it would still be on Netflix. I assume it would be because Netflix paid a lot of
Yeah,
money
yeah,
for
yeah.
it. But in regards to SmackDown, I don't know if that's a part of the deal.
Mm.
Uh,
But I'm just thinking, like, because with Netflix, are they going to like put age restrictions on it? So essentially, you'd have to have a parental lock to stop kids watching it
yeah.
if they're going to bring
Well,
the
yeah.
the R rating back to it. Essentially,
I think, yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be like 18 plus, but I think 15. Swear words. Just get it
yeah,
proper again, proper wrestling. I look. You know what I really like though? Mic work. When people like talk the talk on the mic.
yeah.
Now, my favourite person on the mic has always been The Miz. And I just love when they can sell it, like the promo.
Mm.
And I really like when they can sell it. And I always remember The Miz on the mic. It's just,
So
it gets you
he
going.
was coming in as I was getting out of it, essentially. So I've not seen a great deal. He was at WrestleMania, though, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
the one the tag
And I
teams.
thought, because not much was said about him on the build up for the fight, and I thought, he, has he like declined that much that he's not? Because I feel like they were trying to make him a main character, and now
No,
he's
like
not.
he was champion for a bit. I
Yeah.
think he was 3-time champion, but he's a Grand Slam, so that means he's won every single battle available.
Mm,
The Intercontinental US Championship, Tag Team, whatever bout that's been there, he has won up into the new heavyweight
yeah.
one. So yeah, no boys. I just like when people. That's why I like John Cena a little bit because he was
Mm.
good on the mic. The Rock, obviously, Stone Cold was good on the
Oh
mic.
God, I used.
Triple H was good on the mic.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
you know, and that's what it needs. Just people that are confident in the mic on the
Mm.
mic. Just to sell in, just because it's scripted. But when you're on the mic, that's just that ain't scripted. That's just you go
Yeah, yeah.
out
So you've got a
and you
gist
just
of
go
what
off
you've
the
got to.
crowd. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like right. You've got this message to get
Yeah,
across. Now,
just just
Sally.
just get it. Yeah, you got
Yeah.
like 5 minutes to promo it, get this point across. That's
Mm.
it.
Uh, yeah. It was quality back in the day, though, weren't it?
Mm.
I know we've spoke about it and reminisced about it on a previous episode. But yeah, yeah. I feel like because of how much happened back then in that Attitude Era, like nothing surprising for me, or it wasn't while I was
Mm.
watching WrestleMania anyway. Yeah, because even with the tag team fight, the first night's main event, because again I didn't know anything that it was on the line about bloodline rules for
Yeah, the
the
next guy,
Sunday
the next
night.
match. Yeah,
Yeah, so as soon as I found that out, I was like, well, Cody's going to lose then, isn't he? And that's going to make it harder for Sunday night because
yeah,
otherwise
yeah.
it's an easier night for him. So yeah, it was all too predictable. Um, yeah, again, I can't comment on Sunday night, but yeah, I don't know. If I've got enough time over the weekend, I'll finish watching it.
Sunday night was supposed to have been better overall, but yeah, I haven't watched it because literally first thing Monday morning because I was watching a lot of the build up on TikTok,
Mm,
so it was just full of it,
yeah, all the
and I was
algorithms.
just like, I watched one, I was just like, fuck it, just watch them all
Mm,
on there. So yeah.
yeah, that's the problem, though, isn't it? You can't avoid any kinds of spoilers now.
Even Bluey, mate, spoilers for the new episode of Bluey. It's fucking mad. It's like a special one.
So even after I sent you that TikTok the other night as well, and you're getting the spoilers on it.
Yeah, like the next episode that comes out on Sunday as we do the podcast. Yeah, it's like a 20-minute special. They're only 10 minutes long, annoying me.
All right.
So like, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna spoil this for that. You know, people give me their opinion on it.
Well, so as we was going to say anyway, back to a shambles. So
the Undertake podcast.
yeah, the Undertake podcast that's going to take off at some point. So last Sunday it was the Liverpool Man United game. Well, Man United Liverpool game again. Premier League this time, and James was giving it the big one last week. He was confident, and he had every right to be. You know, Liverpool that had been on fire, and yeah, it was an underwhelming game for Liverpool fans. Definitely, I didn't see a single Man United fan building up to the game that was confident on
Right.
getting a result,
No,
and I wasn't either.
but first half, Liverpool absolutely dominated Manu. Manu didn't even have a shot on target, and the Manu fans in that stadium were absolutely going fucking mental.
Yeah.
But you know,
So
so like they didn't have no. You know, I get what you're saying from that point of view, but at the end of the day, you've still got to turn up. And the first half, Manu didn't turn up, but
yeah. So I know what you're saying.
Liverpool should have been well ahead more than they should have at
Yeah.
that point.
I know what you're saying. I feel like because the first couple of minutes it was the basketball, football again, tennis. It was back and forth.
Yeah, feeling each other out.
Yeah, and then the Garnacho like disallowed goal because he was offside. Bruno just held it for a little bit too long. If he would have just passed it first time, Garnacho was already on the way, hence why he was offside by the time he did get the pass. I think that changed the United players' like frame of mind then because it was like, oh, right, we're not going to do it then. And obviously down now, 1-0 at half time. And then, yeah, it's still nothing was going on until just that misplaced pass. Bruno gets it, and obviously Keller, he's got every right
to
to
be as
be,
far forward as he
yeah,
was, yeah.
because
The pass,
Liverpool
yeah.
are just constantly attacking anyway. And yeah, so Bruno, it's an easy finish. It's
For a footballer, yeah, you
yeah,
expect him to hit the target from that way out with no, just lob it off the keeper.
well that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know I've said it before. I think Bruno Fernandes is one of the most overrated players. I don't like his attitude. I don't know why he thinks he's the bollocks because I think if he goes and I don't think he makes any other top. But I'm not even saying Man U's a top team. I don't think he makes a
well,
top
we're
team.
not a top team at the
But
moment.
I don't see him. I don't see him getting to Bayern Munich. I don't see him getting to PSG. I don't see him getting to Real Madrid. I don't see him. I think Manu is his level because Manu's a level where everyone thinks they're better than what they are. That's from
Yeah, but that is the problem with the majority of the
mm,
United squad at the moment.
Garnacho's got potential. I
Yeah,
think what's his name?
Kobe Mainoo.
I think he's just he's all right. He's not a special talent. I don't think he's.
But from how the rest of the senior squad are playing,
Yeah,
him,
they're making him look good
yeah,
because he runs a bit, mate.
yeah, but he's taking on the
It
players.
says it. No, sorry to quick up, John. I was gonna say it says something when your right back's going to be the player of the season.
It's only because he's been fit the whole season.
Yeah, but like, do you get what I'm saying? That's your
Yeah,
right
yeah,
back.
I know. Yeah,
That's your
it's.
Gary Neville, mate.
I mean,
Up
again,
and
that's
down.
that's a debate for another podcast.
But
Is
you know what I'm
who's the
saying?
better right back?
No, obviously
Um,
Gary Neville. What I'm saying is like that's the in a in any career, any season, did Gary Neville ever get player of the season? No. So
no,
for
because
your
he
right
wasn't
back,
the best in the team.
yeah,
But
and that's
yeah,
what I'm saying.
I,
Like
I,
that's where Man U are. But
I know what you're saying, mate.
yeah, but
You can't get me to
I,
try and defend the
I,
majority of the team this
I
season
just
because I can't. I
I,
can't.
honestly, there's just
Yeah,
yeah.
and
So
being like, if we was to finish in the top six, so stay as sixth at the end of the season,
yes,
that is a fortunate. Now, again, you've slightly started me off, mate. You've slightly started me off. Well, I'll bite a little bit. So there has been over 60 injuries. So obviously we haven't got 60 first team players, but there's been over 60 individual injuries this season.
Right.
So that's always going to be a hindrance for any squads. You know, Newcastle's had the same. Chelsea have been all right, really. It's just been Pochettino that's fucked that up. Liverpool have had a lot of injuries, but as I said the other week, Klopp's been able to set the foundation that every team, so the under 23s, the 19s, the 18s,
Has
16s,
that
whatever,
style and
they
that
all play
mentality.
the same. So you can just come in from any one of them other ones and fit into the same system. You know, Man City, you know, when you fiddling the books all the time and, you know, got all the money to pay for whoever you want, then you're going to be able to do that. Arsenal have been really fortunate not to have severe injuries. If Declan Rice got injured this season, they wouldn't be sitting joint top of the league. So, yeah, it's for like 60 minutes this season, we've had Ten Hag's first choice team. The rest of it's been
But isn't
injuries.
that football though?
It is.
And a club that like Man U have spent so much money should have more than just 11. That's
again,
good
mate.
enough.
You know, if you want me to,
I'm just talking football.
if you want me to get some hard hitting facts that should get me onto the United stand, then I'll give them to you.
Because we know he
I'll
listens.
mate. He actually does, mate. I'm telling you. Mark, hello, by the way, mate. You know, big fan. You know I am. But yeah, if you want to know those bits, then you'll have to listen to the United stand and that anyway. But yeah, we're not here to defend Man United.
Right.
We're here to laugh at Liverpool.
And not so much Liverpool, a bit of James's expense.
So, as I say, Sunday, I'll give you a bit of background. Sundays I like to have a little drink, I'll cook dinner, Sunday roast every Sunday. You got to do it. You know, that's what Sunday's made for. Football and Sunday roast and beers. So I'd had a couple of beers during a game, maybe some before, and probably two afterwards. But after that shambles of a game, 2-2 it's finished. And Liverpool were lucky in the end as well to get that, because if Wan-Bissaka is great at last ditch tackle, that's, you know, he's made his United career off of that. But he did it in the wrong position, and it doesn't matter how much everyone wants to slow it down and say that VAR got it wrong. I saw an American referee the next day analysing it and saying that it was wrong. He was clearly a Man United fan. So, yeah, it's a penalty at the end of the day. You know, VAR allegedly looked at it. They would have done, but apparently says no penalty. It was a penalty, sorry. And, you know, again, it was the only thing that Salah did all game, really. It was his main chance, and he's put it away. So they were lucky to get a draw at the end of it. And I just couldn't help myself. Just could not help myself in giving James a little email. So I just had to.
What was in your email, your correspondence?
All I said.
I hope you kept it professional.
I did, yeah. All I said was Jurgen's bottle jobs. It's all I said to him.
You dropped some bile in there, did you, boy?
Oh, mate. Like a kipper.
Did you reel him in, mate?
Oh, mate, he was reeled in. Just like, I can't even think of the guy's name, but just like one of the fishing programs on whatever crappy sports channel that people like to watch fishing on. So, yeah, it was about an hour later, he's emailed back after he's finished crying into his Liverpool pillow and Teddy called Jurgen.
It's like a teddy bear with a Liverpool like
little Liverpool jersey and that, ain't it? Even down to little shitty boots on, or old school black Preds.
Yeah.
Fucking Deodoras or something. That's what.
Yeah, Deodoras.
Yeah.
Got the 2004 kit on there from when Jared was the main geezer.
So James's reply was, fuck off.
Mm.
United bottled it. Can't keep a win to save their life. Brentford, Chelsea, and Liverpool were all dominating you shit cunts.
Mm.
So I think I might have rattled him a little bit with that
Mm.
one.
And what I like about that email is he got straight to the point. There's
Yeah,
no,
he was very articulate with
yeah,
his words. He
he done his
definitely,
research.
definitely been keeping an eye on the
Yeah.
United games the
I
last
think he knew an
week.
email was coming.
Mm. So I couldn't help myself, as I say. Again, against Brentford, the team didn't turn up. Brentford deserved to batter us, and again, we got a goal late on and then conceded straight away.
Mm.
Chelsea, I watched it to 2-0 down. I hate these late kickoffs.
Oh, because it was on Sunday. One was like
Yeah, Brentford was on Sunday. Chelsea was Wednesday.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Uh,
No, was it? Yeah, no, you're right.
yeah, because again, it's the
Yeah.
days that we're on. So it was, or it might have been Saturday. Yeah, Saturday was Brentford. Chelsea was Wednesday, 8:15 kickoff. And as I say, I watched 2-0. I was like, no, it's too late for me. I'm already in bed trying to watch it. I'm like, no, it's off. I don't need to go to sleep completely pissed off. And then when I saw it was really 4-3 in the end, I was like, yeah, sound. Not surprised. Um, but like I said last week, it's Liverpool's title to lose. And if they can't even beat a Man United team that, you know, Chelsea can beat, and we all know how bad Chelsea's been this season, yeah, it's just Liverpool. And
And then the last 3-0
I
in the
was
Europa League.
just about to say,
Now I didn't watch the game, but I heard it was absolutely terrible in that game as well.
I only seen the highlights on TikTok this morning.
So what you're basically saying to me is, in Jurgen's final season, just at League Cup.
I feel like it's going to be, yeah.
Mm.
I'm hoping Arsenal do manage to win the Premier League. Just obviously because I don't want Liverpool to win it anyway, because fuck the Scousers. But Man City, we don't want Man City to keep dominating. We don't
No,
want
we
them to
want
have
to change
four in a
up.
year, 4 in a row rather.
Oh, for me as a neutral, I would prefer Liverpool to win. Just in Jurgen's final season, because he has been a good manager. I would,
Yeah.
if you played under Jurgen Klopp, you'd want to run for him, innit? That's and that's like, well, what Man U end doing, I suppose, not running.
Yeah, as I've said before enough times, the majority of the players don't play for the badge,
Uh,
the manager, or even the paycheck. The fucking the, the money that they get is
oh,
ridiculous.
I was talking about this. Now, if you give me 25 grand a week, mate,
Mm.
and say your job is to play football,
Yep.
that I would run fastest and further than anyone else. On
Yeah.
that, like when you have like they're doing in KM like 15, KM ran in the game.
Mm.
I would just all I would do all day is sprint
Yeah.
for hours. Just run.
It wouldn't even need to be 24 grand a week though, would it? You think? So we won't say what kind of wages we're on and that on the pod, but you think even double, 3 times what you're on a week at the moment, you'd still aim to
Run
be
my
the
bollocks off, yeah.
fittest person in the squad, wouldn't you? And that'd be a standard. Even because I was a superstar goalkeeper, I've still got the fucking the reflexes as well. Fucking well, stop these worktops from falling earlier. Fucking tell you what, kid. Um, which we'll get onto reflexes in a minute. I was meant to bring you earlier, but yeah, we'll get onto that in a minute. But yeah, so if I was a professional goalkeeper as well, I'd make sure I'm the fittest and best fucking goalkeeper in the league as well, definitely. Yeah, but yeah, Liverpool are just they'll be lucky to finish fucking second. I mean, could you imagine after all this they end up finishing third, and as you say, just the League Cup
League Cup.
for Jurgen's swan song. So yeah, James, I hope you're still listening at this point anyway, and you haven't just chinned us off. It's all in jest, mate. And when you're ready, yeah, we'll start the Undertake off, mate. Right, so yeah, onto reflexes. So going off of the back of the holiday, obviously almost broke my ankle. And then after we recorded last Friday, Saturday, grafting, because, gotta graft any kid. Um, not that I like working on the weekends, but sometimes we have to. Well, I have to. I know, it's horrible. So doing these wardrobes, and uh, it's an awkward customer, but the one it floor to ceiling, and you can't get the feet on underneath. So awkwardly getting the feet on, and then as the other one is fucking, I'm on the floor trying to get the back foot on, and the wardrobes move slightly because the other lads fucking shimmied it, tried to fucking do something. Even though, so I've got a prop, I've got my screw box underneath it. I was like, leave it there because I've seen this, I've seen this book, read this page, I've seen it happen before. But no, he's moved it out of the way. So as he's moving the wardrobe, fucking the front foot has broke, and look, I didn't even see it happen. It's just that the brain has
Muscle memory.
knew what's gone on. So I've managed to just about get my hand out in time, but so I've cut the top of my finger, and I mean I won't be able to pull any pictures up for any of
Mm.
the listeners at home, but the piece of skin on the, so where you go from your knuckle to the first joint on your middle finger, that skin was just hanging back on itself because of the way it just I pulled it out quick enough, and so I had to quickly tape it up. Fortunately, electrical tape is the best thing ever, better than a plaster, because if you get it back on quick enough, it just heals itself. It's magic. But there was a bit of blood. Sunday, my finger was bruised, and I mean, like it looked like it'd been to a P Diddy's house party. It was that battered and bruised. It was ridiculous. All swollen. I mean, it is still really tender. I'm struggling to bend it up, but yeah, been through the wars. We've just the right side of me. I don't get it. Uh, and then Monday was about a bit eventful as well. So I don't know what episode it was, probably like episode 10 or something. I came up with, well, I didn't come up with, but I brought up a story about when I was walking a dog early one morning, and I was caught short, so I had to go into the bushes and uh, poop in the bushes.
In the bush.
Um, so ever since then, like, because I know how I felt before that happened, before going out on the walk, if I feel like that beforehand, I'll make sure that I'll go to the toilet before going on the walk, just to save my blushes and not get caught short in the bushes. So Monday morning, I'm there. I could feel my stomach was a little bit ropey, so got on the toilet. By the way, anyone, just like brace yourselves for a little bit of poo talk because that's what we're talking about. Not wiping for a change, even though I did have to wipe. We'll get onto it. So, gone to the toilet, all good. Took the dog out. Stomach's still feeling a little bit ropey. So as I got back, gone again, which is fine. Sometimes you need to go a second time. You got to get it out. You got to go. You got to go. And then this is where it goes down a little bit. Of set off, go off to the job, and I'll shit myself in the van. So I didn't know that I actually had, but
Was he one of them when you fart?
I farted
yeah.
and I thought, oh, have I just shit myself? And then I convinced myself that I hadn't because I couldn't feel any moisture or anything. Nothing felt squidgy. And then I got to the job, and the lady in the house was like talking to me. Now, to be fair, because like in the morning I have a couple of cups of tea and that, and then I have like my flask while I'm driving. So I need a wee anyway. I've drove over an hour to get to the job, and yeah, so the lady's talking to me. I'm thinking I need a wee, and I need to check that I haven't fucking had an accident. And yeah, there was so much mess. That not like not like how you've experienced it with the little baby where it was all up the
Punami.
back and everything. It wasn't that bad, but yeah, I've had to. end up sitting back down to make sure I've fucking cleaned my arse properly anyway. Because I've done the check wipe, and then I've seen pretty much the whole of the square was covered. I was all nothing in my boxers, so it must have just been a little bit of a squirt, and then because I was sitting down, it's just smeared around my arse
Mm.
cheeks. Um, so yeah, I had to fucking clean it. But then, while I'm halfway through fucking trying to clean it as well, I've had the phone call from the delivery driver that he's fucking outside. So I've had to go, like, pull me fucking bottoms back up again, go down, take this delivery, and then as he's left, I couldn't go because it had been like 10 minutes. Couldn't go to the toilet again because
Yeah.
that looks sus, though, in it. So I've got me Dettol wipes out of the van, and I've had to do a wet wipe just to get the last of it. So yeah, fucking Monday was not a good day for me. So if that's any consolation for you, James, I hope you feel good about that.
That reminds me of the story of one of our lads. Do you remember when he shot himself on the bus?
Um, was that Nozzle or Mr.
No,
Green?
no, none of them. So what? No, because his nickname. Anyway. So he got on the bus. This was years ago.
Mm.
Still don't drive. So I always think it's more embarrassing when he did. So he said he got on the bus and he was on the 4 lane. And he said like he got 3 stops up. Farley absolutely shit himself like
Oh,
everywhere. And he said he had to like press the bus out.
oh,
Like,
the old bell.
yeah.
Ding!
He said he
Next stop.
walked past. He walked fast. Everyone on the bus was obviously first thing in the morning busy. And he
Oh,
said he had
God.
to walk like fucking a mile back or however long it is. And
Mm.
he said like, he didn't realise you could see the shit on his
Oh,
bottoms.
all down him. Oh, that's terrible, that is.
Uh, so everyone on the bus knew that he shit himself, and obviously when
Yeah,
you get the bus, you see kind of like the same faces, don't you?
yeah, yeah.
So like like the next day.
Oh, that's terrible, that is.
Yeah. So you didn't have to go through that.
No, no, I didn't have to
Yeah.
go through that because I had black boxers, black shorts on, not work shorts. But as I say, I was surprised because there was no mess in the boxers. It literally just, spread across the ass crack. I suppose it's probably one of the good things about having a hairy ass is that it kept it all in. To be fair, it's only because I haven't used my manscape for a couple of months. On my bum, that is. Keep the pubes trim. um, so, yeah, from shitty bumholes and broken fingers, off to the. Actually, no, there is something else that I want to bring up before we do go on to the final correspondence. Uh, so this morning I drove past it was a father and son duo,
Mm.
and they were, well, I say drove past, it was fucking first thing in the morning while I was walking the dog, actually. So walking a dog and a father and son on a fucking morning jog, and the kid was like he was struggling, and he wasn't a big lad or anything. He was a young skinny kid, and he was just struggling like to keep pace and that. So they've ended up having to go to a walking pace because he was like far behind on that. And it just reminded me when I was a kid, and I mean a kid like 4 or 5 years old, and my dad used to take me with him for a run as well. But it wouldn't just be along the streets; it was fucking along the canals,
Mm.
and it, I couldn't believe I fucking forgot about it. Essentially, like how dangerous is that? Well, just because he'd leave me as well. He wouldn't like wait for me to catch up. He'd just go along, do his fucking like 5 miles. Let's just say I don't know how long the run was, but like he'd do his 5 miles down and then turn around and come fucking find me on the way back again. And then he'd carry on back up to the car. So let's just say I managed to do half a mile
Yeah.
by the time he's come fucking like gone to the end, turn around and come back. So he'd tell me to turn around and go back the other way and then carry on to the car and still wait for me to come back and fucking like meet up with him again. So how dangerous that would like
Yeah.
you couldn't even fathom doing anything like that these days,
No.
could you? Well, yeah, I was just walking the dog then, getting to myself thinking, I can't believe that used to happen.
Different mode on now, mate.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, like my niece and nephew, they ain't even allowed to go to the park on their own.
Oh.
Um,
Remember, like, when you was kids, your mum used to send you to the shops. Do you think that still happens now?
I think some people do it.
Yeah. My dad used to send him to get Rizla and tobacco. Like when I was like 10.
Yeah, like again, that's just how people have changed because the shop owners obviously knew the
Yeah.
parents and who the kids were, so it'd be like, oh yeah, my dad wants such and such. Because again, with not me, but my uncle used to get sent to the shop. At, like the shop would close at 10, and like my nan, his mum would say at like 5 to 10, go get me another like bottle of wine and a pack of fags, whatever it was. And so he'd have to run to the shop and hope to get there before it shuts. And then like, yeah, hand the fiver over, whatever it was, and
Yeah.
fucking get the goods, and then run back to make sure it was all good. Then like, and yeah, times were different. You wouldn't do it now because the shop owners wouldn't be able to trust that the kids were actually getting it
Yeah.
for the parents. Yeah, it was. I mean, we've spoke about it enough times. They're all little bastards these days, anyway. All need a good slap. um, yeah, so it just fucking. Like, I had to put it on my notes while I was walking because I just thought it was funny. Like, yeah, I could have fell in the canal and died on that. Oh, fucking dad was just off doing his run. Just didn't care.
Could have got kidnapped.
Yeah. I probably would have got a fucking slap for that as well. Why'd you let yourself get kidnapped? Whack. Um, right, so yeah, on to the correspondence now then, even though we've already done we've done all the emails actually. So we'll go on to the hotline, 07470 488 096. Get your messages in. WhatsApps, text messages, whatever. Well, not that anyone has, but there's no point trying to call because I won't answer the phone. I don't have it on me all the time. So first of all, I should have read this while we was talking about the football. So Leah says James is going to be gutted again, which he was.
I love how everyone. I love how because someone was like last week saying he's gonna be rattled.
Yeah,
And
it was
he
the
is like,
same one. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. And then we've got Ryan. What's happening, lads? It's Hooters weekend, so hopefully I'll have a story for you next week.
Right. Well, we look forward to that then.
Yeah. So for any new listeners, that's referencing his friend who is just like James Buckley from the Inbetweeners, thinks he can pull a Hooters girl, reckons he's got no chance. But yeah, right. Remember, if you can, get a video of it, or try and take a
Just
sneaky
something,
picture of
yeah.
him trying to like chat her up and
Or like just record any,
yeah,
like voice record it. Yeah.
if you can get some evidence of it, and then yeah, we'll try and put it on the pod as long as there's nothing,
As long as he allows us to.
nah, fuck him.
Oh, fuck it, yeah. I was just thinking of, what's it called? GDPR or something like that.
Yeah, it's
Basically, need someone's like. Anyway,
it's data protection or
yeah.
whatever anymore. But yeah, well, we'll see.
We'll see.
And then last but not least, question from Carl: what is the most shameless thing you've ever done?
Oh, fucking hell. I mean,
Oh no, I should have told you about this before
yeah.
we started recording, so you could have
Because
thought of something.
sometimes when we get asked these kind of questions, I always remember a better one after the story.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
I don't even remember to bring you back up.
No.
Shameless thing.
So when I did read this, what came to mind was not just one occasion, to be fair, but a lot of the time when we used to go out, I don't know if it was definitely mainly when it was just us two. I used to do a lot of minesweeping. So minesweeping, for people that don't know, is beer pinching.
No, mate, I think you've done this in front of everyone because even Neil tells me the story of.
Yeah, I know I've definitely done it in front of a lot of people, but I remember a lot of times when
You
it's
even done
just
it.
us
You
two.
even done it on your stag do.
Did I?
Yeah.
I can't say I'm
No,
surprised.
because you forgot your bolly or something. Do you remember on the night out?
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
was going to go back to the digs, and you and Les was just like, no, it's all right, don't worry.
No, well, yeah, because we was like, no, don't worry, we're so obviously stuck there anyway. You weren't
Mm.
going to spend money anyway. And then you went out for 10 minutes. I'm standing next to Leslie. You come back with a pint. I'm like, you get that? He's like, just took it off the table.
Yeah, fuck it. Mate, you snooze, you lose. I remember.
Imagine just putting it, putting it down. It's just gone.
I remember one time, I don't know where we was, but we weren't local anyway. And it was definitely just us two out. And there was, like, when you got a column just in the middle of the club, and, like, it's got the little fucking stand around it and that.
Mm.
And there was someone's fish bowl on there. So, fish
Oh,
bowl is just a big bowl
yeah, it was
with a
like
cocktail
cocktail
in.
in
And I remember just grabbing that and turning around, walking towards you. And then you was like, you could see them turn around to go and grab it, and then they're looking around all confused, like, who's
Yeah.
got it and that.
Yeah, because you're holding in front of it and walking away from them. They couldn't see. So it looked like JD's just walking towards me. Okay,
But yeah, I remember doing that so many times. And it, like, in general, it's not like I didn't have the money. It was just funny, and it's like, free drink.
I never got why you did that, actually.
So I think it was just for the game, innit? Just fucking,
You
yeah,
used to
just
get fucking steam, didn't you? Stealing
man.
everyone's
I,
drinks, just mixing everything.
I love getting fucking drunk, man.
You used to get fucked, man. I remember that.
I haven't. I think my wedding, was the last time. Nah, because I still remember the end of the night actually. So
You trying to say was last time we went out and can't remember?
yeah, proper blackout drunk. Um, yeah, I don't know when the last time I was blackout drunk like that. Then, but I did used to love it really. Just going out, getting rat-arsed, and then yeah, just waking up. So, oh, what happened? I don't know. And then, like, as we said before, we'd go to the calf the next day, and you'd all be telling the stories, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know, I don't remember. You know, the amount of times I was just like, yeah, I just love it, just love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get pissed now. Fucking, it's been a hard week, kid.
I'm trying to think actually, what would be my shameless thing? I don't know, I'm quite.
You've always been very tame.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like
yeah,
shameless. Like, I don't know how. I'm just trying to think. Maybe I should get off the night out thing in my head.
uh, so have you ever spoken to someone the way you shouldn't have, but then not been bothered? Like,
Nah.
uh, again, I know it's not in
Yeah.
your character.
No.
I mean, again, I've done it.
You know. No, I will say the one shameless thing I think I've ever done, and it's like when I look back, I'm like, what the fuck did I do that? But I was a kid, so like
Mm,
every week my nan used to give us £1 to go to the shops, and this was when £1 could get you fucking
oh,
a right fucking can of Coke, pack of crisps, chocolate bar,
yeah,
change in your back pocket,
yeah.
fucking proper pound.
Mm,
None of this shit pound stuff now where you fucking can't get a can of pop with it.
yeah.
Sure, a can of pop's now like £1.5 or something.
I
What
can't
can
say
of
I'm
pop?
surprised, mate.
What the fuck, man?
I don't
Anyway,
really drink pop anyway, but yeah.
yeah. So my nan dropped the purse one time, and he went all over the floor. And literally, I kept I kept £1. I don't know why I did it. And I like so she gave us an extra pound, so I had £2.
Mm,
And then on the way I was like, I found £1. And I know for a fact she knew I was fucking lying.
mm,
I knew for a fact that she knows I took £1 off her. And she never ever said nothing. And I always think like that
mate,
that comes back and I'm always like, what the fuck did I do that? I was like
yeah,
fucking 9, like
yeah,
you get what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying? I didn't know when I was like 15.
yeah. I know.
But I'm just go on,
I
sorry.
think it's a nan thing, but your nan in general was like fucking sound anyway, and it
Yeah,
like because she knew all of us, like all your mates and that, and she always
yeah,
had time for all of us and that anyway, and like, you know,
yeah,
fucking wanted to sail over and have a chat and that. And like, even if like you or your brothers and sisters and that weren't there, any of us could have knocked on and fucking had a cup of
yeah,
tea or whatever. She would have always invited us in. But as that, I think that's like a nan thing in general
yeah.
anyway. And it
So
like,
I'm just trying to think of something like shameless. I'm trying to look. That's something I look back on and go, oof.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't know. Have you got any more? While I have a quick think. 'Cause
I mean,
I mean,
I've got a few where it's like, during the Top Shagger days. No, like, you're laughing, but
because Top Shagger Days, like only you're calling it that.
mate, the fans love it. But no, I remember like, not meaning it like nasty or anything, like, but I was honest with them, basically.
Mm.
Just saying, like, I'm not after a relationship or anything. It probably would have like fitted in with how the people are these days. But I'd be like, I'm not ready for a relationship. Just want to have a bit of fun and that. And then, some of these girls caught feelings, and I didn't. So I was like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna nip this in the bud now then, because you're already telling me. Like, there was one literally like 2 weeks of like, a bit of fun and that. She's like, I love you, Jay. I'm like, I don't love you. So I'll like just like, right, we'll leave it here now then, because I'm not gonna carry on having my fun while you're like
Yeah.
falling for me, and I don't. So I'm being nasty to be nice in a sense, because I didn't want to string them along, and then they're like, where's this going? I'm like, going nowhere.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
but that ain't really being shameless, that's just being honest though, isn't it, to a degree?
yeah, but there's a lot of shameless things that I did
Yeah,
during them
yeah,
days.
but you can't. Yeah.
Oh
Oh.
man, I mean, like, uh, you was there for some of them uh, experiences, not like,
Yeah.
not that you was there like while I was doing it and
Indirectly
that lot,
involved.
but like fucking, I don't know, say at the same house party or whatever, while I'd be doing things in another room. Um, yeah, it was just good
Do you
old
remember when
fun.
I'm there? That girl, Suzuki Dick, and she did.
Yeah, and yeah, that was a good night. That was.
Uh,
Yeah,
Looked after you there, didn't I?
I know, man. Fucking. Not many of the other lads ever fucking did look after me. It was always me being the good bro, the good wingman. Um, but as we said last week, fucking, I've never been discriminative against the females. I would never have winged in for a man. Um, so we've in our main friend group, we haven't got a homosexual
No,
or a
no.
bisexual that would have gone home with a man that would have required me to
But there are
be that
some
wingman then.
there are some questionable ones in the group.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah. Mm,
very questionable, mate.
yeah, but that's just army life, though, isn't it?
Well, he's not the only one, but
Yeah, I know, but right, it's a good job they don't listen, any.
I've got a question for you. If you went to Thailand
mm,
and someone's like, "Shag a lady boy," would you shag a lady boy? Because this is where my mind took me because of them two in there. Because these two lads have both said they would go to Thailand and shag a lady boy, and it's like that Jeffrey video. Do you remember the Jeffrey video when he was like a lad, his
yeah,
absolute
the
steam,
blonde lad,
yeah, and
and
he's
he was
like,
like, yeah,
when
well,
you go to
you got
fucking
a bigger dick
Turkey,
than me.
yeah, when you go to Turkey, you gotta have a kebab. It's the same. Like it's
Yeah,
not,
so
it's not the same.
it's it, it's the old saying, when in Rome, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
But what do the Romans do that?
I suppose you throw that this hang signal about everywhere, like
Mamma
hey,
mia. Yeah.
bella. Like
Scusi.
yeah, and you emphasis on everything like
Mm,
"Hey," like you can
mm.
you. I feel with Italians you can understand what they're saying without words.
Yeah, and you can see the hand
The
gestures with the
passion.
words as well. Um, but no, so I know, just only from what I've seen on like TV and internet and that, a lot of them are very deceptive. It's hard to see that they are a ladyboy with some of them. No, because that's what they are.
No.
They call themselves them ladyboys as well, innit?
Mm.
They don't say she-males or trans or anything.
And
That's what they want
then
to be.
yeah, they're not lady boys. They're
Boy, girls.
no, they're men with tits.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't understand where the lady boys come from when it's just men with tits.
But as I say, that's what they want to be called, isn't it?
Mm.
That's how they make the money.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Jeffrey made a bit of money that night, I can
Yeah.
imagine.
So yeah, I've like if I was there and I don't know, so I'm out on the town, I'm having a couple of beers and that log, and then like not that I would now because I'm married happily. Um, but you know, if circumstances led me to be there and I could play
No,
away or whatever, or I
yeah,
was
sorry, I should rephrase it. Would OJB of yeah,
yeah.
that's the way
So
I should
top
like.
shagger days.
Like, again, you're the only one who's calling it that.
You said top shagger originally. So back in the day, uh, yeah, I think if I was out having a drink and that, and started, uh,
If you're
like,
an army boy of 1 hour in Thailand and you've walked down the strip, how are boys? You know, my bab. You've only
yeah,
had
because I
one,
would be calling him Bab as
yeah.
well.
So you've had one beer, and you walk
One
back.
beer.
No, because you go into the next bar, you walk past another one. Hello,
Yeah, but before even
boys.
going out, I would have had a load of beers anyway. You know what I'm like, kid.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so what I'm saying is, if I would have got into the situation where I didn't know that it was a ladyboy at first, because you know they were quite convincing on the face and the tits
Hmm.
aspect, when it comes to the nitty gritty, and like then I'm seen as a dick down there or feeling as one, you know,
Hmm.
because sometimes you got to have a grope first. Then I would have put my clothes back on if I was already naked. But basically, I would have left that
Yeah.
situation. I wouldn't
You wouldn't.
continue
Yeah, you
with it.
wouldn't have participated.
No, I would have just walked out after sucking his dick and then gone. No, I'd just be high-tailing it and be like, sorry, I've misunderstood the
Yeah.
situation. I shall go and find a real lady now. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Because me and there's an old boy at work, and he was going to go to Thailand before COVID, booked in everything.
Mm,
But then because of COVID, he got cancelled.
yeah.
And we were saying, what's an old man are you going to do in Thailand? He's like, I'm going to go fishing. I was like, fuck off. No one goes fishing in Thailand. He's
Fishing
like,
for
yeah,
lady boys.
that's all I'm doing. And then we was like, no, you'd be down the strip. And he'd be like, you come in. And he'd be like, not today, sweetheart. Maybe, no, no. And then he'll purposely walk
You
past
sound
her.
like you're doing an Adam Sandler impression
No,
now.
well, this is the way he speaks. He'll walk past them again, and they'd be like, "Oh, all right, then, you go on in. You'll have a good time." Because he thinks he's a top shagger as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, used to be, but yeah. So yeah,
yeah. Yeah, any lady boys listening, send us in your dick pics. Ashley wants to see her. But no, we are going to leave it there anyway. Uh, James, I hope you see it all in jest.
yeah. The
You know,
Undertake
yeah.
coming next season.
Well, it would have to be next season,
Yeah,
anyway,
every
because
Tuesday after all the football fixtures as well, after the Monday night football, you can have your opinion on all the weekend's events.
yeah, I'm going to say it'd have to be next season anyway, because Liverpool are not having anything this season.
Yeah,
And yeah, so send your emails, your text messages, WhatsApps, and whatever. All the links are in the description. Hopefully, I don't peel my pants again next Monday.
yeah, that'd be
And
great.
it was one of the worst starts to a week that you can
No,
have, to be fair.
no, I get it because when I did it in America, I get it. I get it. It's just unfortunate. Sometimes it just happens.
Yeah, and it is one of them things you can't help, other than having a good and healthy diet. But yeah, so on that poop shell, we shall leave it there, and we'll see you next week then. Peace.
Right.